Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another installment of The Locker Room. I am your host. You already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Reggie. Now, listen, Kyrie Irving is simply overrated. Now, we all know what Kyrie Irving is going through right now with the Brooklyn Nets. I told you guys he is in a toxic relationship with the Brooklyn Nets, and they don't want to let this thing go. They don't want to break up with each other. So right now, they're going through it. They're arguing back and forth, whatever the case is, okay? I don't care. I told y'all. I don't care what Kyrie Irving posts. I don't care what he thinks. I don't care who he believes in. I don't care what time he took a shit, what time he washed his ass. I don't care. The only thing that I care about is the game of basketball, right? And Kyrie Irving is never on the court. It's funny to me that when the Brooklyn Nets got swept in last year's playoffs, everybody and their mom decided to blame one Steve Nash. But Steve Nash was the guy that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving wanted.
What you think about Nash being on the sidelines for us?
Tell us about the secret meeting where y'all hired him away
Yo,
from
relax,
the team or whatever the narrative is.
Yeah. So what happened? We have been planning a change. Maybe for the last few months.
That was fucking crazy.
Maybe for the last few months. Maybe for the last few months. But first off, I want to give a shout out to Kenny Atkinson because, some people came out and was like, yo, Kai and KD got Kenny fired. And look, that was completely false. Listen, Kenny was great for the group that he served. And I was very appreciative of what he was giving us throughout the season when we were playing. We always heard how great Nash was or saw how great Nash was as a player, but also when you get to know him as a person, you understand why he can coexist with us because we don't need somebody to come in and put their coaching philosophy on everything that we're doing and change up the wheel and, yo, you guys need to start doing this. And we start running on the first day of practice. It's just like, no, I need somebody that's going to understand that I am a human being first. I serve my community and where I come from first. And then basketball is something I come and do every single day because I love. And also I have the right ingredients and people around me to come in and do my job at a high level. And I know that they will hold me accountable to that level. There's no disrespect to Kenny or any other coaches I play with. It's just Steve coming in at this moment and then following up with putting together a great coaching core was going to make us more successful.
Do you and Steve have a relationship already? Y'all have only been able to play a few times against each other, right? You coming in when you did?
Yeah, I gave him 26 and 9. I like to remind him. I don't play those games with Steve, but no, Coach, I was the first. He said I was the first person to call him Coach Nash, but I call him Steve. Steve is great, and I have a relationship with him that's gonna build over time, bro. Like Steve don't know me from anything he heard or anything that he's heard from anyone else, or we've worked out one time in 2014. But it's grown as just a respectful relationship from afar. I saw him at the Hall of Fame 2 years ago, gave him a big hug, and now he's the head coach. And I think it's also going to change the way we see coaches. I don't really see us having a head coach. You know what I mean? Like KD could be a head coach. I could be a head coach.
Jacques Vaughn could do it one day. It can be.
Nope. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys just heard Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on a podcast saying that they did not need a coach, right? They didn't need a coach. Now, these were their words, not mine, okay? So I'm doing my research, as you all know, right? And I come across a very, very interesting article. Now, it's funny to me, like I said, men lie, women lie, but the numbers and the statistics tell a different story. So this article from 538, it goes on to say, the most obvious culprit for Irving's less impressive than expected numbers here is his defense. Listed at 6'2", 195 pounds, Irving has always been an easy target for opposing offenses to hunt. And he's been a negative for all but 1 year of his career during the player tracking era. Though his defensive impact has trended upward with each successive season in Brooklyn, his numbers remain woefully below average for a player of his caliber and position. The Brooklyn Nets offensive rating of 115 with Irving on the floor would have ranked number 3 as a season-long metric in 21 and 22. But herein lies the problem with Kyrie Irving. As a negative defender, you have to hope for an otherworldly offensive explosion from Irving and company to offset the likely defensive drop-off that comes with his presence. And even at a rate of 115, which wasn't good enough, as it stands, Irving is not the scorer or distributor who can supercharge a team past its glaring defensive deficiencies and a Brooklyn roster construction that is, shall we say, not exactly defensively inclined. And this year, it's probably not a coincidence that the Nets are defending much better while Irving has been off of the floor. Wow, this is interesting. This is interesting, right? So then the article goes on to say, finally, Irving's numbers have tended to tail off when it counts the most in the playoffs. Since leaving the Cavaliers, Irving has managed 22 points per game on 43, 35, and 93 shooting splits in 22 postseason contests, a significant decline from both his playoff stats as a Cav and from his regular season numbers as a Net. At the same time, his team has been outscored with him on the floor in 2 of the past 3 postseasons. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, men lie, women lie, but the numbers and the statistics tell a different story. They tell a different story. Now, I remember 2018, Kyrie Irving's first season with the Boston Celtics. They went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals to a Game 7 without Kyrie Irving. He comes back the following season. They lose in the second round in a 5-game gentleman's sweep to Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. In 2021, in the playoffs, he gets hurt with the Brooklyn Nets. Last season, the Brooklyn Nets get swept in the first round. So forget the movie, forget all the other extracurriculars that come with one Kyrie Irving, and let's strictly talk the game of basketball. I've been telling you this. Y'all haven't been listening. This man is overrated. And the only reason, in my opinion, why he's relevant is because he's standing behind one Kevin Durant. If it were not for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving was on the Brooklyn Nets by himself with this same roster, we wouldn't even talk about the Brooklyn Nets. They wouldn't even be relevant. So congratulations to Kyrie Irving. You were very smart in picking your next running mate in Kevin Durant, because for the last 4 years, you've been able to hide behind the greatness of Kevin Durant. Now it's time for you to remind us how great you supposedly are, because it's been almost 7 years since 2016, since that shot against Golden State. When are you going to update your resume? That is my question for Kyrie Irving. But that's pretty much all I got, man, on this topic. Like I said, I've been saying the dude is overrated. He's just not worth the headache and the drama. But I want to get you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think, man? Is Kyrie Irving worth it? Let me know. This was another installment of The Locker Room. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.